Prepare for action! Prepare for adventure! Prepare for romance, espionage, and giant chickens on the quest for the Quantum Rose! To the car.
It's just like lots of sexy goblins.
It's just goblins.
And
It's
we're
just goblins.
back! Welcome back to Quest for the Quantum Rose. While our coalition members are reviewing the finer points of goblin porn on the arcane terminals, we rejoin the rest of our characters. No, I'm kidding.
It was in my HUD. It's in my heads-up display. I have a bionic eye for a reason.
I was just gonna say we just walk into the ship to be like, hey, Val, we just got finished. We can come back later. Just turns around like seamlessly,
Walks in and
just spins on a heel.
I believe,
I put on the big screen.
We ended off the evening, the last session, in the marketplace, headed towards, like trying to get the jobs, see what other work could be had before you got out of there.
Yeah.
You had successfully apparently successfully solved the murder mystery of the missing gnome warlock. You found out that security station Chief Aleph was perhaps not the greatest at his job. There were a lot of very sus-looking individuals. And the market is still closed due to demons.
Does that look like they would be open for any kind of help, by the way?
No, it actually explicitly warns away adventurers from attempting to assist. This is apparently something that they have to deal with at least twice, like a week. But they're fairly good at containing these. They manage to reaching out into the rest of the marketplace. And nobody else that works in the area really seems all that concerned. You notice that like a couple of the shops near there are like reinforced. They might have like a couple of extra arcane wards on the walls, maybe a little bit stronger plating in the construction of their stall. But by and large, they don't seem overly concerned with the goings-on and the horrible screaming and demonic laughter coming out of the marketplace.
Could I ask, like, around here why this happens so often? Like, if there were on like some kind of ley line to the into the hells or something?
There's actually a shop merchant. There's an old elf fellow. He appears to be dealing in some kind of produce, and he basically indicates to you that they've got this kind of ancient obelisk that nobody can shift because it has to be sold and nobody wants to buy it. Apparently it's cursed in such a way that nobody who's been able to get a look in at it has been able to withstand its presence long enough to successfully analyze the curse to try and break it. So it's kind of just their albatross rock, right?
Right.
And periodically it lights up and demons come out.
Willow just looks at it and just goes,
How much is it?
Yeah,
Somebody sold it to the shopkeep in a really brilliant bartering session, and he has not been able to shift it since.
Willow just arcs an eyebrow at that and just goes, why didn't they just look at it in shifts then? Like one person does one section, another person does another section, they translate it together.
The guy shrugs. He's like, I'm not a magic guy. I sell paradise potatoes. What do you want?
She shrugs. She's like, yeah, kind of the same thing. I don't know. By the way, does he look like the kid we ran into at the Barbaretum?
No. This is. I mean,
Does he look like there's any family resemblance?
Not so as you'd notice. I mean,
No.
This is a much more elderly gentleman. Kind of getting on. He's still got that saturnine grace that elves have. But he's definitely looking a little hollow in the cheek, as it were.
I was just curious because you said elf and then produce in my head put two and two together. So I'm like, yeah, family resemblance?
No, not necessarily. The Barbaretum does have a small, They do have a small display for like exotic fruits and vegetables and things, but it's not generally open to the public.
Right.
Like they don't run a farm out of there. So this guy is somehow either imported these crops from somewhere, likely in a trade route, or he's got a secret grow bed operation somewhere on the station.
I just remember we ran into a wood elf kid there, so I figured there might have been something.
Right. Yeah. No. Sycamore is not selling produce out of the Barbarino.
Right. Yeah. I just figured he might be related to him. That's all. And I didn't remember.
All right, I'm gonna say that all of you that have devices that can receive text messages, you just get put into an obnoxious group chat by Val because she tries to send a message to each of you individually, and it just fucks up and just makes a group chat. Hey, just finished all that paperwork I had to do. Where are you at? We'll meet you soon. We'll meet you soon once you let me know. And there's a little heart emoji.
Willow's gonna try and get her on the car. Hey, Val.
Hey, Willow, what's up? Hey.
Hey. Yeah. You kind of group chatted everybody with that.
Wait, did I really group chat everybody? Even Caxos?
I'm not sure. I don't think does. Wait.
I don't think Caxos has a
thing?
comment.
Oh,
Have you ever
see,
established that Cax had a com?
does he have a cell phone to receive text on?
I feel like I remember saying that there was.
He's a
Dr. Quencher, the dwarf archaeologist back on Kemet, tried to show him how to use the headset.
Yeah, I know. One of the sessions I promised I would learn how to use it, but I don't think I actually got one. Probably I do have like a phone or something. I don't know if it's in the ship or in my bag. It's in my bag.
I'm just worried about overwhelming Caxos with like so many people in a group chat at once digitally.
Yeah.
Didn't Caxos give the dear doctor his comm so we could stay in chat, and then
Yeah.
died, and we just never.
No,
Makes
I know.
sense.
No,
it's-
yeah, his body was picked up actually by some DD&D officials. They have procedures for agents who are killed in the field.
Yeah, I didn't mean the body. I meant the comlink.
Oh no, he gave it back to Caxos. He showed him how to use it and like put it. He's like, here, dude, put this one here.
And that's what I'm saying. Afterward, if I'm not mistaken, Kaz literally gave him that to stay in contact while we were inside. I don't know.
Oh well, okay.
I think yeah.
Alright, so
But it's not like comlinks are like expensive. Like literally, you could throw a Wizmo anywhere you're standing right now and find hit a place where you could buy a comlink.
We still don't have wisdom.
No, he's on another station. Y'all kind of left him behind because he got into trouble.
well, I
do.
gave him a time to be there and he wasn't there, so that's on Wismo. Anyways,
He's basically a cat. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
okay, so yeah, sorry I group text everybody. So where are you guys at?
We're in the marketplace. We're looking to see if there's any jobs here we can take before we gotta head out.
Okay, yeah, sure. Did you want to hit that bar before we left?
Yeah. Well, let's meet up here and then we can see if we can find a shop where we can get glammed up.
Sounds good to me. And yeah, I just get my rucksack and my gear and just do a leisurely jog there. I don't know.
By the way, I think we're still on the.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm not a human being. What are you asking me to do?
Jess, you're muted.
Actually,
Jess, you're muted.
You're muted.
you're muted.
Thank you.
There you go.
My kids were being very loud. No, I was saying is I just realized that I had the player bookmark on the wrong page there. They are looking at the freight dock. So yes, okay. So Valerie and Willow are going out on a date, I guess. Is that
Kind of.
okay?
Remember what I said last time? We saw the lady in white.
Yes.
We
Yes,
wanted
the
to
lady in
try and
white.
find her.
Yeah, we want to figure out what's going on with her. So yeah. By the way, babe, this is a slow burn romance. They've been on like 3 or 4 dates, and Val doesn't know that any of them have been on a date yet. I don't know where Willow's at, so this is gonna be like.
So what are the rest of you doing while they're getting ready for their date?
I'll go get the com thing.
Drinking heavily.
All right. Caxaw is like literally you can like walk into any one of these stores here, and you can get a comlink for like a gold, right? It's like they're cheap disposable communication tech now. It's fairly simple and straightforward for you to go ahead and encode it to your friends' frequencies, as soon as you can find somebody in your group to pair with. And Callie, you said, I'm sorry, what were you doing?
Me?
Yes.
Drinking heavily.
Okay, so you will probably also want either the Barbaretum or Club Plastique.
Yes.
Okay, so the three of you are going to Club Plastique. Okay. Caxaw's.
I thought they were going to the Barbaretum.
I thought they were going
No,
to.
they're going to Club Plastic.
They're
We're
going
going to
Club
Club Plastique.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
that case, the Barbaretum.
Oh!
You're just trying to
Oh,
avoid
just- Well, to avoid us, and you know what? Given everything I've done, that's valid to avoid me.
Okay, so I need to put down two of you in Club Plastique. Caxos, after you find your combat or communicator, who are you trying to pair up with? Like, are you gonna go find Boom Squid since I paid?
Yeah, I'll hang around in the marketplace to meet up with Cax afterwards.
My
Okay.
character is dumb and wise, less enough to just go by something and not realize that he's alone. So, if someone
Oh no, I feel bad for just running off now.
no, he's got it coming.
All right.
But yeah, if Boom Squid realizes and stays,
Yeah.
I assume, yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'll stay, and then take Cactus with us to get.
All right.
So,
Okay.
just so I don't sound like a complete and utter ass, the
I mean,
main
sure.
reason of being in a completely different section is one, because of the romance, and two, because it's not progressing towards getting her ship back, so she's just drinking.
Oh, so she's not interested if it doesn't involve progressing her goals. I get you.
It's because she's a romantic at heart. We know it.
She has yet to acknowledge that she's truly a hopeless romantic at heart.
Storybreaker, guys, she's asexual.
Ooh.
Is she?
I
Is
said
she?
romantic.
No,
She
it's true. It's asexual does not mean aromantic, but if
But
she's
the
also
point is made.
aromantic,
Yeah.
fair.
She's married to the ship.
Call it X ship her comfort fanfic.
I'll X Pride Rock.
Yes.
I'm sorry to say, we're not. I promise this is not coming from a bad place. This is playful teasing.
No. It's valid. I mean, that's exactly what it was when I created this character. She is in love with her ship and spacefaring. She doesn't give a shit about anything else. You try and threaten her, she'll shove you in an airlock. You try and romance her, she'll just point her gun in your face. It's nothing personal. That's just her response.
Fuck everybody, I respect Kala.
Okay, so Kala will be resolutely drinking at the bar. How long would you like to be drinking at the bar? Until you're called?
It's gonna take.
Okay, so basically until you're called. All right. So I will say we'll ballpark at a minimum 2 hours of time, right? One for y'all to get ready, and another one for y'all to have a little time.
Is Sirenscape up by the way?
Sirenscape is up, but not currently doing anything because I forgot to play anything.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So you, Kala, are approached on the second hour into your drinking by a slightly short for averages, kind of timid looking almost elfin person of indeterminate but probably feminine gender. They have a brown jumpsuit, like a working coverall. That's the word. Like a worker's coverall on, and a lot of really bright rainbow colors in their hair and makeup. She looks at you kind of timidly and walks up and says, "Excuse me, ooh, pretty stars. Hey, can you help? Are you a mercenary? Do you take money for killing things? You look really tough."
Sounds like Val trying to talk to Willow.
Then started. I'm sorry. Started way more than. I'm sorry. I'm just an ass.
No, that was perfect, honestly. Val does stutter a bunch when talking to Willow.
Depends on the job.
I have a problem. It's probably easier if I just show you. And she hands you a flyer for a place that looks like a theme park with some very large kind of like reptilian-style creatures that probably you think Valerie would really get a kick out of. There's a reference to something called Exotopark, and she says, so there's a planet nearby, and one of our exhibits got out, and they're really dangerous and hard to contain, and we need someone to catch and or kill them. I hate to have to do this, but like they're kind of intense and they're really hard to put down. So we need some really strong mercs to help us out. Can you help?
You rephrased my previous answer. Depends on the pay.
So saying, you see her like reach into a very long zipper on the side of her coverall, and like as she pulls it open, there's a brilliant golden light that comes out of the open pocket space, and she reaches in like up to the shoulder, right? And you can hear inside there's a fantastic clanking, like an entire mountain of gold something fell over, right? And she pulls out like a fistful of gold coins that you don't recognize, but are very weighty and definitely, like, if they can be believed, like they looked like the genuine article.
Reholster the blaster I was just about to pull out, because somebody opening a bag into space directly in front of me after offering me a job is nothing.
Well, Shiny, this is good. Let's work here.
You're paying?
No, but I'm just sure I have money. God, you're cranky like a merc. You must be.
That's great.
She's currently looking out the window, still kind of pulling the gold out.
Ella is the most mercenary to have ever mercenaried, and I love it.
She's not even a mercenary, she's a smuggler.
Fair.
I mean, you guys don't know what's currently on the ship other than the things that you guys are trying to...
That's my secret. I don't care.
Hey, Val told you day one, just keep it away from her eye, because her eye records for the higher ups. She doesn't care. Hey, look. It gives her extra money.
Jumping back to the plot, the response would be effectively the same thing. The terms, pay, how long, details.
Are you here alone, or do you have a team? Because if you have a team, it would be a lot faster, because this is not a one-person job. And can I get a drink? There's three of them, and we need you'll need a lot of people. So I would rather do this one time to explain. So if you've got people, maybe we could get them all together in a room. Otherwise, if it's just you, then I can tell you now. Okay. Well, let's see here. Hang on. How much do you think this would be worth here? I don't really know much about the local money.
Yes, I would need to appraise that by eye.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want me to roll for that?
Intelligence with proficiency, please. You've got a pretty long association with physical currency, not just credit. Being a spacer and dealing with a lot of different cultures. So you've seen a fair amount of different precious metals change hands in your time.
Well, don't you work for DD&D and they do like artifact stuff?
Yeah, that also is a factor.
I think physical money might be a little bit obsolete space stuff.
Well, not all space. Like there's some low tech worlds where it's very common still.
That's true.
Yeah, Val grew up using almost exclusively physical money.
17 on the check.
Okay, so you think that just in her hand alone, she's probably carrying somewhere to like 500 odd gold, or what would be the equivalent of 500 gold pieces in local weight. And as she mentioned, this is not all of it. But this is like a handful of whatever was in her giant ass pocket. So
Did the pocket look like it was loaded?
it looks like it was sewn into the jumpsuit.
So technically, yes.
I mean, the pocket is not. The jumpsuit is.
Yeah, you'd have
Oh
to.
my fucking gods! All right.
You'd have to pull a Valerie and make a seduction check.
This-
Well,
I would just have to make a good
I like
shot.
how that's a Valerie.
In the middle of this bar.
You really think she wouldn't attempt it? The odds are in her favor.
The odds.
How many people are in the bar back there?
Well, there's about 3 or 4 like patrons.
Just enough so I can't get away with the murder. Got it.
Yeah, and the bartender is also there too. There's an android bartender there.
Oh, good.
Oh, are you sure? You sure it's an Android, not an iPhone?
Fairly certain it's.
Oh yeah, there's no cracks. Gotcha.
So she's still looking at you, kind of puzzled on one side, periodically looking off to the stars, and one time looking back at the bar, asking for that drink again.
What you have in yours?
Okay, hang on a second though. She like puts that down on the table in front of you, reaches out reaches into that thing again, and pulls out like a scroll of a contract, right? So before I can give you any payment, I have to get you to sign this. It's a liability waiver.
Can't sign it for the group.
Well, then can we get everybody here or something? Because I got to bring this back to my boss, or else I'm gonna get in trouble. And we're gonna cut away there. Valerie and Willow, have y'all got your faces on and everything?
It would depend on how much it would cost to get new dresses, look all like nice and sexy and glamorous.
Okay.
And it would also take about like 10, like whatever we got an extra 20 minutes for us to have gone back to the ship, and Val would be like, hi, so like, do you think this is good? And Val's just like, let's get you something that's actually nice.
Okay. So are y'all trying to hit like the markets here in Merc Alley, or are you looking down like in Dock City in the dives?
Looking for something probably nice, so probably the marketplace.
Okay, so the main general store for adventurers is still closed, but you do actually manage to find a mat fab over here in this sort of more general store area. So you can find it's actually the mat fab is right there. Hold on, y'all have that? Yes. So let me put your tokens back up. So the mat fab basically has an arcane terminal connected to it that lets you pull up and search for images of different dresses. They're, depending on the complexity and costs of fabrication, your prices can go up and down. If you want to insert kind of precious metals, obviously that'll make things more expensive. But your price range generally is like about 30 or 40 silver pieces for like a nice fancy dress, or like you can go ultra riche and get stuff that's made out of like glamour weave for like 10 gold.
I mean, again, what glimmer weave does.
Oh, it basically like changes appearance with your. It's like a low grade disguised self, right?
Okay, yeah. So, Willow, do you want to go first, or should I do it?
I can go ahead. I gotta look at something real quick.
Okay.
I had a character. I gotta look at. I want to look up something real quick.
So.
Glimmer weave. Did you say glimmer weave? And I also remember glimmer weave is a thing.
So.
We'll follow the DMG guide pricing guidelines for everything else that you might find in a world market.
Dropping everything. Why can't I hold all this information? Why can't I hold these lines?
Because the paper's not one.
Fair. See, there's no really stealthy way to hide a rifle on your person if you're wearing a dress that's there.
Contained invisibility field.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd
Do
be
you
nice.
have do you have a transmat deck?
I don't think we do.
Do you?
Do I? Wait,
Do
what
you?
Oh my god.
Was that do you have a transmat deck in your inventory?
I'm gonna just assume that she does not.
Okay, wait. Quadcorder. I have an Omni tool, but that's probably not a transmat deck.
No, transmac decks.
Basically
Are,
a bag of holding almost.
Oh.
Yeah. There's
It's like a
sci-fi bag.
yeah. So have you ever watched Ultraviolet, the movie?
No.
Okay. It wasn't that great. It was kind of like a knockoff of Unplugged. But the point being, they had this kind of like, it was like bag of holding technology, but they called it flat pack. And basically they had it was like a two-dimensional flat space containment, right? So it was an extra dimensional space. Well, she had a couple, I think.
Yeah, that's what you
She
had
had-
gloves.
Yeah, for like a lot of guns.
I
Basically,
remember
what
that
she used
scene.
her
I
for.
remember that scene.
Weapons.
Objects
numerous.
found, many.
Mhm.
Feel like a small arsenal in your wrist
So-
or something.
Yeah, it is feasible that you could, pay for a transmat deck and have it fashioned in such a way that you could disguise it, maybe on like a hip holster or like a thigh fastener, some like a garter or something. I don't know, but it would take a bit of work to get that custom made. It would need some lead time, and you'd have to find a fabricator that could pull it off.
Fair. And that's
Or an artifice.
We're just trying to go like get new outfits quickly so we can go to this thing. So Val's.
No, I heard you.
Oh,
It would be about.
I know you did. I meant them.
Wait, what?
Or
Saying that
Oh.
to find somebody to do that for you, and then I threw in or an artificer.
Oh, I'm not smart. Okay, thank you. But thank you. Shit, we have an artificer. Fuck.
But how much time would that take?
That's not the right weapon.
The I believe the transmat deck is an uncommon tier item, which would put it about what 2 weeks for creation time.
I don't think we have the damn time.
Yeah, we're kind of looking to go within the hour. So Val's just going to create a nice outfit for herself. Like she's gonna make a nice dark green dress. Sort of like just got a hollow corset, which is just a holographic corset, which is very in vogue nowadays. It's because space.
Does it use
fashion-
hard light to squeeze your ribs in?
Nobody uses hard light to give the effect that it does.
Does it at least like have a hard light cup, like an
Yes.
underbust?
It
Okay.
definitely has a hard light bust.
Bustier?
Yes. Nah, I don't do that. She just got a simple looking, just green dress. It's really nice. I don't know. Fuck.
Okay, so let me set this one up for you.
Okay.
The dress you find, it appears kind of almost Grecian in its lines. It's made up of a series of strips of a kind of a green mossy silk. It's a bit shimmery and reflective a little bit in the light as it moves. It's gathered at the shoulders, like in knots, and it drifts down front and back, covering the important bits and kind of gathering at the waist in like a sash, and then heading down in like a front and back panel with slits up to the thigh, and basically leaving the sides open, like under the arm.
Mhm.
But it's open down the back all the way to like the top of the sash in the middle.
I'm having a hard time following the geometry real quick. I'm sorry.
I'll sketch it for you later.
Okay. So I basically have this sort of like Grecian Roman dark green dress.
Okay.
Okay, I guess that's what I got from all that. If I add a little silver, I'm basically already sketching.
Ah, yes. You sussed it out, the goddess of the hunt.
Best goddess.
Right, so just step out wearing that and a new purse. It's basically just looks like a quiver. It just is a quiver that just functions as a little purse. Just a silver, like, what do you think?
Lily just smiles and there's a little bit of a darker blue to her cheeks. So she just looks and just like, awesome.
Yep. So how much does that one cost me? Now that I've spent an inordinate amount of time on this dress.
Actually, you get away with this one for only about a gold and a half.
Alright, wait, where's the pencils? Shit. Thank you. Okay, so, gold and a half. I'm gonna write that down.
Willow, do you have an idea about your dress?
I've got an idea. Yeah.
Hit me.
So Willow feels a little awkward about it because Val kind of got something a little bit more affordable because Willow's kind of wanting to splurge a little bit because she's got some saved up.
No, see, that was...
Yeah, that was. I mean,
splurging.
this is
Oh.
let's. The materials here that you can get at the Mat Fab, like they're good, and you can get some really good quality for not an exorbitant amount of money. I mean, it's not like the intergalactic, Milan or whatever, right? Like you're not getting bespoke, handmade, space worm silk kind of materials. You're getting Mat Fab stuff, but it's good quality, right?
Would I be able to purchase an uncommon glimmer weave from it though? The stuff that can have like sort of like illusions that can rise off the fabric and gives you like a little bonus to persuasion and performance.
Yeah, well, so okay, that's going to cost you about 200 gold for the actual enchantments to be done on the site.
I am currently sitting on, let me pull up my inventory, 1,518 gold.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure you could afford it. The question was not that. I was just making sure you understood what the extra enchantment would involve on top of the creation of the base item.
Right. How much would it cost? How much time would that be to get it?
I mean, it's like an hour to get that put on.
All right. That's good. So how much was that? 200 gold?
Yeah, that one. The glamour weave dress is 200.
Okay. It's the uncommon version, right?
No, I think the glamour weave is actually it's common, and you wouldn't be paying so much for it if it weren't for the rush job for the enchantment.
Right. Well, looking on D&D Beyond, uncommon glamour weave is the one with the bonuses that you can add to stuff.
Okay, so if you want if you want the uncommon version that's got the material benefits, it's going to take longer and it's going to cost a full 500.
No. Okay, I can still work with the common version.
Okay, I mean, they have prefab $500 uncommon tier glamour weave items here, but they're not going to have it like to order whatever
Personalized, yeah.
Right. So take your pick on that.
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna just get the 200 version.
Okay.
It just has the shifting patterns on it.
Right.
Right. So what Willow walks out in is it looks kind of like the like it kind of looks as like it has the pattern, sort of the red of the leotard that she usually wears, her leotard armor.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of like nano weave ballistic stuff.
Sure.
But what it looks like is it's got the same sort of like hexagonal pattern on it. There is the shoulders are bared, but it has sleeves to it where it goes into a pair of where it goes to have a ring where it's around the middle finger, and there's just the other fingers all the fingers are just bare, just like a little strip down the middle kind of thing.
You got that slave collar or that slave bracelet kind of look, right?
Kind of like Mystique's kind of opera gloves and the classic one.
Oh yeah.
Classic white gloves where it's got the bare like that.
Okay, I got you.
And it's connected to the actual dress, but the shoulders are bared, and it shows a little bit of the top of the boots for plunging into a little V-shape sort of cleavage line. And as it goes down the dress part, it's sort of like split at the one leg for a little freer movement. But as it gets to the hem of it, it starts to bleed into a little bit of a purplish color. And there's just, as it moves, it looks like there's a little bit of a stellar pattern to it, like an actual galaxy on it. Because again, this is Glimmerweave.
Oh, this is just charming as fuck.
And and underneath on her leg, she has like just a little bit of a strap for her sabers.
Okay.
Just to hold those in. Just gonna leave the guns in the ship.
All right. I'm seriously wanting to draw this later, and like
I would love it.
In my head, I'm doing like the Kimi ni Aiwa dance scene from Adolescence of Utena, but with these two, and it's super cute.
Also, I wanted it like Val's like, oh, last touch, we should do some jewelry real quick, and she goes over and gets some, just basically a hard light finger tab, archer's like thing.
Right.
Yeah, arm guard, and just like this sort of, it's this low, like dark green, just glow, just a chest guard that you see in a lot of competitive archery. So she just gets this, that's hers, and she's like, and actually, well, I don't think you'll need a fabricator for your jewelry, she says, as she walks around back and just puts just drops her hands over Willow's shoulder with the necklace right there, and just turns up in the mirror. What do you think?
Willow just looks at it and she's just like, where the heck did you get this? Kind of just like keeps holding it between the thumb and forefinger, just like in awe of it. It's like looking at the galaxy just swirling inside. Where did you get this? Just looks over her shoulder at you.
Well, I can just find things. And when I find something that really matches someone, it's almost a crime not to put it together.
Willow just does a little slight darker blue on the cheeks thing, and just goes, keep that in mind for later. Sort of like admires it in the mirror.
And I just
I love this.
tie it in the back, or do whatever you need to do with it to secure it in the back.
All right, and we're gonna cut away right there. Boom squid, Dr. Smite.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Something even more romantic, I assume.
And now for something completely different.
But also possibly very wholesome.
Yes.
Possibly. That's a good question.
Has anybody checked on the dog recently?
The dog.
Like, hopefully Valerie fed it or walked it or something before she left, but we don't know.
Well, she was allowed to do all of it remotely, but she needed to sit down on the ship to do it. So she's been spending like the entire episode or so she was gone. She was hanging with the dog. So it's been long all that jazz is good.
Okay.
Really hoping the dog is space broken, like knows how to use the head.
Do I need to roll to ask it that or train it to do that? Because I feel like that would have been high on the list.
Hold on. Let me roll first to see if this is something that would have been taught during its training at Spy Dog Academy.
So wait. It was supposed to be the most charming and the most charming animal ever, and you're supposed to win people's hearts, and they didn't even think of making it potty trained, so the most charming animal ever would just piss on the floor and you immediately ruin it.
Somebody
It
suggested
would be so cute.
Shit's right there.
Somebody suggested that if it came pre-trained, it might be too suspicious.
You're cleaning it up. By you, I mean anybody else in the crew.
Well,
I'm not specifying anybody.
She did say
else.
Valerie went and took him for a walk, so I think it's okay. Anyway, so
Yeah.
Boom Squid and Dr. Smites, what are y'all doing now that you finished your quest to get him a new communicator?
I have my communicator now, right?
You do.
Yeah.
And I know. So,
You know how to use ish.
oh, do I have to state my emotion before speaking? Because I don't know. I mean, the last time I used something like this was the hive mind, and I didn't have to do anything.
I mean, if it makes you feel more comfortable, you can. You don't have to. If you're talking, most of the time humanoids can get it by tone of voice.
We'll see about that.
Most of the time. Humanoid, they're not always the best.
Okay. So,
So, what do you want?
you hungry?
Sure.
What do
Sugar.
you eat?
Have we decided? I mean, I would just go with small fish or shellfish, probably mostly.
That sounds amazing.
All right.
So, yeah, let's try to. Is people around? Is there anyone around? Like, from the station?
Okay, so there's a couple of just regular shopkeepers and vendors around. A large portion of the people who run the shops here seem synthetic. Like there's a lot of Vect here. There's a couple of multi-purpose automatons that seem to be programmed to run store mining. But there are a few organics around. Yes.
Yeah, I will go ask an organic. It's a little racist. Excuse me, citizen. Do you know a place where me and my friend can go eat some seafood, shell, mollusks, and that kind of stuff?
Okay, so
Waterborne creatures.
So
Cooked, if possible, but not exclusive.
the poor human woman that you're talking to right now kind of just stares at you and blinks. She's trying to answer your question, but as you continue to elaborate on your description, her mouth just kind of snaps shut, and she blinks in confusion a little bit as you just keep elaborating. And eventually, when you finish explaining what it is you're looking for, she'll tell you that they have a really nice Oysters Galactic over at the Club Plastique, or you can get you can get 4546 Bravo grubworms over by the bucket at the
By the
Arboretum.
bucket.
Yeah, she goes on to explain that they're the small, rapidly breeding crustaceans that you cook en masse and eat with some kind of a drawn, fatty substance and some kind of an allium, like garlic butter.
Thank you very much. I'll let you go back to your drone tasks. And
Damn. Fucking savage.
She kind of blinks at you and just says, "Honest pay for honest work," and then goes back to her job.
This is the worst. So I will tell Kara. I cannot say that. Okay, so many vowels. It's confusing.
Boom. Just say boom.
Boom. Yeah, boom
Say
squid.
boom squid.
I'll go boom squid. Yeah, in Club Plastic they have a lot of galactic oysters. Sounds
Yeah. Want to go?
something.
Want to go to Club Plastique? Get drunk. Get oysters.
Sounds like a plan.
Crash your friend's date.
Oh! It'll be fine. It'll be
We'll
fine.
just be security for if it goes wrong.
You're gonna
Can
need
you
suits.
get drunk?
Are you afraid of like somebody taking advantage of the other exactly, or?
Well, like, I think we're more talking about if something goes wrong, because the reason that you said you're going on the date
Oh yeah, our
is
excuse.
to investigate White Lady.
Our frail, flimsy excuse.
Yes.
Paper thin. All right.
Technically, Willow's actually also interested in that as well.
All right. So I'm actually going to.
Val is not.
I'm going to bring you in here at opposite ends of the map, just so it doesn't look completely glaringly obvious that you are like spying on your friends. All right. Okay, you should be able to see. You end up actually walking in together simultaneously, as luck would have it. I'm fairly sure you're gonna make it, but I need a perception check from Team Dato.
I guess that's date. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all just gonna scroll down here. 12. Willow.
Okay.
24 from Val.
Okay.
I pointed out to Willow.
Yeah. So you immediately clock your friends across the bar. It's a lot more crowded in this area right now than the map would suggest, just because everyone's moving around so fast they're not showing up on the sensors. We'll just say that. The place is hopping tonight. The music is loud. People are feeling fairly jovial. They've heard that the restriction was lifted and everyone can go back to their lives, and everyone generally feels pretty good about that kind of a thing when they're given the all clear. So they're living it up tonight. There's good business. There's a lot of races on display tonight. It is just a really nice broad cross section of all the various wonders of the galaxy. You have a couple of ameboids playing hide and seek in the pool. You've got a couple of Avia Ra haggling with a pair of Nautilids over the price of some kind of weird deep ocean rice. Yeah, so you've got about 3 or 4 different species of half humanoid, like half human hybrids. Yes, the near humans, various and sundry near humans who all appear to be gathered around a table doing shots of this like virulently green, like glowing green. It looks like radioactive ooze kind of liquor.
I remember having some of that in college.
Yeah, and so every time they do a shot, actually you can see as they exhale for the first time, like a ring of green radioactive looking smoke passes out of their mouth, and they seem to be taking challenges to see who can actually hook it over their friend's head from across the table.
Can I say that this is a game Val played in college and knows it, or should
Yeah.
I have to make a check?
Yeah,
to
no,
remember it?
smoke rings is a very popular pastime with people who are drinking Meltdown. It's basically engine cleaner. It's guaranteed to get you fucked up. It's also pretty much guaranteed to clear up that thyroid cancer you had.
Clear it up or give it to you.
Clear it up.
Those reports are unsubstantiated, and they will tell you that on the back of the bottle. It's a very small print at the bottom of the label.
I've read it.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. There have been no reported deaths as a result of drinking too much Meltdown, but they have had a couple of incidents of hair loss that were settled out of court.
Along with the disclaimer that says Oppenheimer Liqueurs LLC is not responsible for any loss of the following.
Oppenheimer.
Oh,
All right.
no.
Oh no. So, Val just pulls up on her little display, because I'm assuming like a future techno bar, you can just like pay for the next song like that. So she pulls up on her
This
little.
place does not have a smart juke. The jukebox is actually on the arcane terminal close to the bar front.
And we'll just say we have our background music just in just the background, just ambience, fourth wall.
Yes.
Did you want to like pipe it through your comms? You just be like, hey, here's this music I'm listening to. Beep. There you go.
Just to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Like
give
keeping a
us
private channel, like keeping a private Vox channel open.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Yeah. All right.
Do you see what we're gonna do?
I love this whole like in your own world thing that you're doing. It's very cute.
Yes.
Anyway, Valerie, you are immediately aware, having said all of that, of the presence of your friends from across the room as your eyes track past the meltdown smoke blowers.
Or not still.
I just lean over to Willow. We got two party crashers. You know and love them. 4 o'clock. Don't make it obvious.
Yeah. Willow's just like, just ignore them. We don't even know they're here.
Are you kidding? Unless somebody tries to kill them, I'm gonna act like I don't know them for shit.
Nice. Yeah, so you haven't done this before.
I have. Also, I want it noted that my knife is sort of in the hidden under a flap of my skirt against my leg. My rifle's left behind, and obviously my claws are embedded in my fucking arm, so I can't really move those.
All right. So the bartender that's on duty tonight is a pretty strapping male, rooster-headed Aviara. He's got that beautiful green, like glossy green plumage. He's got a really nice, proud red coxcomb going on. He's looking very stylish in shirt and bow tie and suspenders. And as he sees you two ladies approach, he doesn't smile because they can't with the beak, but his feathers kind of ruffle in the way that they do when they're pleased, which may or may not be your performance. You can make an insight check to find out. But he says, "Welcome, ladies. Welcome. What can I do for you?"
1d20 plus 3 on that one for that insight check.
Insighting as well. This is 16. Wait, no,
'Cause we both
it's still
want it.
history. Damn it. The wrong button. That's a
No.
9.
So
Okay.
20 from
I'll
Willow's
distract.
state.
Willow, you know he's working for the team. Valor, you totally believe he's into you.
Which I pity him for because I'm not at him.
And so yeah, he's looking for your order.
Willow's like, you got anything kind of citrusy? Kind of like any kind of rums?
Are you looking for something? How strong? Because there's a lot there.
Yeah. You can cut it with some kind of like soda or something. Not looking to get fucked up. She just kind of smirks when she says that.
Okay, so we do have some Corellian lime brandy. We also have. Okay, so there's actually some random citrus mash vodka right here. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. Okay, we do have some Elvish lemons, limoncello over here. Oh no, wait, we're out of that. The party came through 2 nights ago and drank the rest of that. Let me go look in the back and see if we have another case. And he's gonna pop out the back way and just disappear for a second. And he'll come back with this really long and kind of like curly-Q looking bottle. It's a very, very bright yellow, like sunlight yellow, right? It doesn't appear to be itself luminescent, not like the Meltdown is, but it definitely catches every bit of light in the room.
Like pineapple Fanta kind of one.
Yeah, there you go.
So Val's definitely using basically just like that smart vision you can get on some like smartphones. When you just hold a camera or something, it'll recognize and just like pull it up like in another tab. So she's memorizing this liquor, by the way, because it's something that Willow likes.
Okay.
And what is this thing that you brought out?
That's the Elven limoncello.
Oh, Elven limoncello. Some kind of brandy, sort of citrus vodka.
And I'll just have whiskey neat.
Okay. All right. Well, it's neat that you want whiskey, but I have to ask: do you want something more local, or do you want something imported? We have a dwarven whiskey that will absolutely burn the back of your throat off. We also have something that's called whiskey, but is actually a Scathari enzyme, I think. They say it's something like honey, but it'll actually eat your insides out if you're not Scathari, so we don't really recommend that to humanoid people.
What's the closest thing you have to a Tennessee bourbon? Because I'm mispronouncing Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, no, that was very... well, okay, so... Oh, here you go. And he actually pours you a thimbleful of something very dark and a little smoky smelling at first.
I didn't know what neat meant above the table. Actually, I think she'd prefer it just on a rock instead.
I mean, are you sure?
He passes you the small shot as like a here, try this kind of way.
I'm just gonna like sniff it a little bit and then just like.
Your eyes water immediately. Like it burns the insides of your nostrils a little bit. It's smoky, it's dark, it's complex like a murder mystery. There's hints of peat moss, there's hints of oak, there's a little bit of a hint of mushroom in there maybe. There's
how much is a glass of this in a rock?
Do you mean like ice or an actual rock? Because we get both kinds here.
Is the actual rock cold?
It can be. He's kind of looking at you out of one eye right now.
Just ice then.
All right. So he'll pour you, and you'll see as he pours like the label. It says Lagavulin on the side, and there's like a twirly mustachioed looking fellow on the label, like Snidely Whiplash style.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And you can see on it the side of the label it reads 200 proof.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Damn.
All right.
I was just like, I think I'll go for the. I'll try the vodka.
Okay, citrus smash vodka it is. How would you like that?
On the rocks.
Okay. So he'll set up like a little Collins glass with some ice and pour over that, and then garnish it with this little curlicue of what you assume to be some kind of a citrus rind. But when you sniff it, it almost smells a little peppery on top of being a little sour.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's best if you give that a nibble right before you take your drink.
Right. So she just does that and then sip.
Yeah. So when you do that, actually, the citrus like flavor of the liquor itself that you picked up just from the sniffing, it actually like washes over your entire tongue with like an enhanced intensity almost that's shocking to the tongue. The sours are more sour, the sweets are more sweet. Just everything is like really amplified. This thing behaves in a similar way to salt, except it doesn't actually taste salty. It does taste peppery. So in addition to all the other citrus notes being cranked up to 11, you also have this kind of a spicy finish on the back end.
Yeah, little blinks a couple of times and surprised. Just like, dang, that's good.
Yeah, we get a lot of repeat business with that one. It's very popular.
Not bad. Thank you.
No problem. And he'll wander off to go serve some other customers. Boom Squid and Karos, as you approach and you see your friends over getting served at the bar, another waiter walks up to you and asks what you'll be having and if you'll be dining in or taking your beverage to go over in the playrooms.
No, we will.
Oh yes.
Because
we wanna
you came in through the loose slots entrance, just so you...
So we're here to eat
We're here to eat.
oysters and also to get drunk, I think.
Okay. You'll be directed. The waiter will actually direct you to sit here in the booth, and then we'll hand you basically what looks like it's a small hard light projector, but it is effectively like a menu item. It's a digital menu, effectively, but it also allows you to order from it. And having still like live wait staff seems a bit of an anachronism. Boom Squid, like you know that they could very well be doing this with all automatic staff. But it seems like this is something of a point of pride for Club Plastique that organics are serving synthetics here.
I have a question for you, Boom Squid.
Mm-hmm.
Because I assume you breathe liquid.
Yes. And air.
So, okay, I mean, my question is like, how do you get drunk? I mean, it's like for the beings
like
with
smoking.
lungs. Yeah, it's like smoking with the
It's like
beings with
smoking.
lungs. Or
Yeah.
that's interesting. I would like to see that.
And I imagine injecting alcohol into like the cider solution must burn like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gives it a meaning to the term drinks like a fish.
If the people who are responsible for the dark matter material would please listen to our podcast, we have some wonderful questions for the extinctions of the
How do Nautilus get drunk? I'll be sure to
physiology.
ask in the Discord. I'll be sure to
Yeah.
do that.
It's a very important question.
No. You see, I would like us to be the establishers of the answer right now.
Oh, are we writing
Oh, are
the
we
canon
writing
here?
this one?
I want us to
Yeah.
write the canon.
We make
Alright.
the canon.
If it's not official canon, we at least
So
have our own.
bold.
So, can they get drunk?
Can they? Well, I will say yes. You absolutely can.
Okay.
Because being drunk is at least in one condition it's exactly the same as having like the poison condition.
I will say
So-
this.
Yeah.
I will say, pardon me. I will say this much: every sentient species found throughout the universe has found a way to indulge themselves in altered states,
Mm-hmm.
be it through hydrocarbons or, different weird designer enzymes or breathing star gas. If you're conscious and aware of the universe, you want to be fucked up.
Can I offer something for Boom Squid?
What's your offering?
We go back to our very first episode where you drink by getting poisonous fish just like blended up and given to you, similar to how dolphins get high on blowfish.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no, just give me a blowfish. Just put the blowfish in the Poseidon solution with me, and then I just...
Just play with that for a while. I love it.
Also, you're not wearing an armor. That's like a suit. You're piloting
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah.
If you get drunk, will you be able to lead us back to the ship? Because I promise you, I have no idea where we are.
They're probably pretty staggery about it, but I imagine they'll still be.
Yeah.
If a nautilus gets drunk while in their suit, is that technically considered driving under the influence?
I would. Yes.
I would say there's been different rulings in different jurisdictions on it.
This-
It all depends on the like how old the laws are written.
Yeah.
Like
This is the dark matter lore we need added.
Let me ask you though, Karos. Do you feel like you would have like a autopilot or a walking assist mechanism to keep your suit upright in the event of an intoxicated pilot?
I would assume there's probably like automated systems that I have just turned on by default for that, for if like it becomes unstable or something.
Like
So I don't like collapse on people in a crowd.
I don't know.
Like a-
So like that may be an expensive upgrade to your suit. Maybe only rich nautilus have that.
like an auto gyro that keeps you standing upright?
Yeah.
I just had the mental image of one night while we're just asleep, we just hear a constant clanking sound, and we just wake up to find that Kairos has fallen asleep and accidentally hit the button for autopilot, and it's just just walking into the wall like an NPC in a video game, sleepwalking into a wall.
Oh my god.
Or worse yet, the suit's on autopilot and I'm making a sandwich, and Karos is like fast asleep in the little bowl in the window.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted us so badly with this.
Oh,
I
it's
just realized
getting
that
better and better.
This is good.
Like I said, this is the plot right now.
I don't have lungs. Probably. Either.
Insectile, probably book lungs, or something similar.
Yeah.
You respirate through your abdomen, which is a little weird.
Which means if you want to get high, you do have to hotbox the whole room.
Yeah, it does also mean you have to like dip your whole ass into something.
I was gonna say, yes, getting
I
hotbox
have
through
to
the
hot-
butt.
I have to hotbox the whole suit. Come on.
True, but your suit takes up smaller space than the whole room.
Okay, so let's look at this really quick. 1 second, and we'll get back to the focus of the thing. I feel like probably the Scathari have some kind of a resin, right, with an aromatic resin that like it gives off a gas of some kind, and they'll just like smear it around their respiratory holes on the abdomen, and just let it set there while it like outgasses, and then they just get stoned off of that.
That seems, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we collect this lore later and submit
Yeah,
it
sure.
for
I'll get
approval?
I'll get all this. You know I'm recording this, so we'll get all this.
I know. I
This is
need
gonna be a
this.
hell of an episode, by the way.
I need this.
Yeah.
I absolutely need this run by the Dark Matter people.
I will submit this for their consideration to adding.
Thank you
We've
so
we've already had a slate shopping episode, and now we're having a get crunk episode. This is too perfect.
Absolutely.
Okay, but yeah, bring us spacey oysters though, because we can sweat, and I wanna see what happens.
Okay, so the galactic oysters when they come, because I'm assuming that y'all just went ahead and got those.
Yeah.
It looks like they've really gone to a lot of lengths to make this look pretty, right? It's a spiral-armed galaxy of about 3 dozen large mollusks that don't look that dissimilar from an oyster. They're a little bit of a weird shape. They're kind of like bowed almost. They almost look like a ravioli or something in the way that the shell itself is shaped. And another fun feature is the pearls grow on the outside of the shell. So the actual shells themselves are really pretty and sparkly, but the insides, the oysters themselves, are this dark black flesh. So the overall effect for the way the fruits are arranged is the oysters are the dark space in the galaxy, and then the shells are stacked kind of on top in this spiral arm pattern of a galaxy, right? So it's a very nice effect, and it's all very creative and colorful, but ultimately you're looking at oysters on the half shell. Yes.
Crunchy.
Well, sure. And
I was gonna say,
you will get like a sidelong glance just once from the server who brings you the plate. But then they shrug and walk away, figuring, yeah, well, that's probably about right then.
I was gonna say, is Caxos trying to break the oysters open like a jawbreaker?
No, he's just getting the crunchy bits too. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
The crunchy bits are the best part. Come on.
Wait, you don't need the shell, but it has all the nutrients.
It's got a lot of calcium and probably a little titanium as well.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
good. All can be digested.
All right. So,
Oh my god.
are you gonna like put the meat in the intake port, or are you gonna take the whole oyster too, or?
The whole oyster.
Cool beans. Okay.
Because I just get the feeling that Carreras likes to get all their like little tentacles on the
Yeah.
oyster shell, get everywhere.
Yeah.
I feel like the Nautilus as a people probably are super into these things.
Yeah.
Right? Mollusks for cephalopods are like crack. Like they love this shit. They will get a little like food high off of this, right?
Yeah.
Not super out of their mind, like not super drunk or anything, but they definitely get a buzz. They definitely catch a buzz off of these oysters. So you're feeling pretty nice. I do need you to make a con save, and after about 5 of those shells and all, I'm gonna need you to make a con save.
Shells and all.
17.
Hey,
Okay. All right. So you are loving life right now, Karos. You feel so good, and everything feels a little bit brighter than usual. And the whole like your field of vision, everything has like a little bit of like a 10% glow on it, right?
yeah.
Your friend across the table is fucking awesome, and like you feel yourself kind of like resist the impulse to reach across the table and hug them with your tentacles. Not the suit, but like reach through the suit and like hug them with tentacles. You're really deep in your shells right now. You don't feel intoxicated. You're not under the poison condition, but it's almost the same. It's a very close feeling, honestly, to like being charmed, without like the directional, like, hey, I really like this person, but I'm being charmed by them.
It's an aphrodisiac,
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
It's an aphrodisiac.
You don't want to fuck this
Korea's
bug,
is
but you do
ace.
want to hug this bug.
Tonight is my favorite episode right now. Just God.
Cax, have I ever told you how much I fucking love you? Like,
Oh, I feel like you get me. Like, just seeing you eat those mollusks really makes me feel like a special connection with you. Also, do you realize how many? I mean, just a super weird thought. Do you realize how many limbs do we have between you and me? Like more than the rest
God,
of the group
right.
together.
Oh god, this is the best. I didn't realize it would do this.
It's perfect.
Oh goodness. Okay, so while we're having the accidental love connection over here, and our single date and surveillance has turned into a double date, we're gonna flash back really quick to Kalahari, sitting at the Barbaretum with this funny little rainbow-headed elf-looking person, and their huge pile of gold, and this disclaimer / waiver. Are you going to like try and lead these people or lead this individual to your team, or are you going to take it to them, or how are you planning? How are you planning to do this?
First and foremost, while they're distracted by either the stars or the bartender, I want to swipe half the gold that's sitting on the table.
Make me a sleight of hand check.
That's because they weren't paying attention. Oh, there it is. Sorry. That's a 19.
Okay. She does not appear to notice your swiping of half the gold.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. So yeah, looking. So go ahead and add 250 gold, you dirty thief.
Smuggler, shut up.
Okay.
I'm always looking for a profit.
Yeah, well, you're really putting the smug in smuggler. That was a
so
joke.
many.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so yeah, what is it you're going to be doing with this individual after that, while they're distracted looking for their drink?
So I'll put the murder plot aside. The response that I want to, I'm probably going to poorly word this, but effectively I would want to say it as half of the money that you put on the table receiving and sharing this information on a contract that should have gone to the contract board to start taking up my time. I quote unquote mercenaries, but I don't give me a business card.
Okay, but this is really time sensitive, so I'm not going anywhere. I'm here so until I can find someone. So please do speak to them soon, okay? You can probably find me here. I don't leave here much. I like to go meditate over in the trees sometimes.
So is she going to give me half of the remaining gold that's sitting on the table now?
She's gonna look down at it and kind of squint and just like move that half off and put it back in her pocket. And hand you a small holofoil business card with the Exoto Park logo on it, and on the back is a comm frequency and just the inscription KA-OS.
Okay. Is she going to pay the half of the agreed to sum?
That's what's on the table right there. That's what's left on the table.
She left. Okay, so she did take half of what was already left there, not the whole rest of the stuff.
Yeah, but not without squinting.
I couldn't care less what she looks at me for. I got what I want.
So you got 3/4 of everything she brought to the table.
Yeah. So what? 375 total.
Yes.
I just want to say that the way she delivered that "I sometimes meditate in the trees" line had the same energy as Padme's "I love the water" from the Clone Wars thing, Attack of the Clones, and I love it.
Okay, well, okay. I'll be here. And she like wanders off into the
Lovely. I order another drink.
Okay. Back to Blood Plastique and the wonderful goings on between red and blue and green and purple. So Willow and Valerie, y'all are well into your first couple of rounds of the night. What's going on?
Well, first off, we're just in this front section of the bar here with things that are going on elsewhere.
Not really. Like once they went over to like the restaurant side of the bar, you kind of lost sight of them. But like it's still pretty bumping in here. Like the crowd is still going strong. I do need both of you to make me a con saving piece though for your drinks.
Okay. Yeah, 15.
17.
Great. Okay, so y'all are holding your liquor quite well so far. You're feeling a little warm and a little loose, but you're still good. You're still good.
Can we see our quarry, the lady in white?
No, you don't see any sign of her. But you do hear still the giant bird races going on in the next room when it has the occasion to open up. You can see like coming through the wall, like coming through the open doorway as the access hatch opens. You can see on the holo display there's still giant birds running.
In that other room, is that the dance floor, or is that just a private setting for like?
It's more of a semi-private lounge. The music is more muted here, and there seems to be more sports and other kind of competitive events going on the walls. There's racing, there's blood sport, there's giant birds. There's like I believe I said there was a space dogfighting, like starfighter competition going on out there. So there's a lot of gambling, a lot of like sports betting sort of stuff happening in that room.
Are we able to like see what's on the docket for those? Just in here, or is it like a little?
I mean, you pick a channel. Like literally, this thing gets like almost every sporting event in the quadrant. So
Right.
the major ones they're looking at right this minute are mostly the giant bird races, the space dogfights, and a very heated match between the human hegemony and the Lakshay. It looks like this might be some kind of a semifinal, so there's something a little more urgent about this particular fight than most. And as usual, the Lakshay are mopping shop with their mecha, and there seems to be a lot of talk from the talking heads about how the Lakshay have really upped their game this season with the new Mark II mecha, and there's a lot of new improvements and upgrades, and they're really going to be a contender this year for the crown, and the hegemony really needs to bring their A game if they want to hope to survive.
Willow's actually going to be following that one a little bit, just interested.
I'm also looking at once I notice Willow does this, and I'm just leaning into Willow. I'm like, I read a thing once about some mecha that were shaped like.
Be pretty badass. Like, what do you think? Do you think we could stand a shot at something like that?
And like, Val is, she's not drunk, but she's definitely feeling it tipsy, and she sort of like leans in with her shoulders, like, I think between you and me, we could definitely take on a couple chunks like that.
And yeah, we kind of kicked ass, right?
Yeah, we fucked them up.
Yeah, I mean, you with that, just kind of snaps her fingers a couple of times trying to remember what weapon that Val had on hers.
It was
with the club thing. And
the Tetsubo, yeah.
Yeah. With that sword, God, that felt so freaking badass doing that.
That was really fun. We should definitely do that again.
And the thing you did with the grenades, that was freaking genius.
Oh yeah, it's an old trick I learned. I did have to take a paladin course, and it did involve like some minor dogfighting. That was we used blanks, and that was a surprise. My field instructor hated me pulling every single time, and he would definitely dock me on it, but it always got me enough kills to make up for it.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Oh yeah,
It definitely works.
non-standard.
Not gonna lie though, I kind of hope they actually liked my little surprise I sent them before we left.
Wait, what was your surprise?
She sort of just a little blushes a little bit. She's like, I kind of sent them an audio file from my little thing I have on me all the time.
Oh, I love that.
I found it actually at a little on a job once. It was just at some dig site. It was in this just blasted, rainy kind of world. It was found a weird bit of like red fabric next to it. Kind of looked like leather. It was really odd. These little rat things just scurrying around.
Yeah.
It was I had to get it fixed up a little bit. It was kind of squawky when I first got it. This time, it was saying some "come and get your love," something like that. But I got it patched up and it plays pretty well. There's a lot of old. I think this is like old Terran stuff on it.
Terran? Jeez, I haven't heard of old Terran in like.
If you want, when we get back after this, I can let you borrow it for a little bit. See what's on there.
The two of us could listen to it together.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I like that. Oh wait, wasn't there supposed to be like someone you wanted to like? Didn't you want to like spy on somebody?
Well, it was just sort of blinks a couple times, and like and then her face sort of like oh yeah, we came here for a reason. Just sort of like remembers why she's here, and he's like, yeah,
We're here to flirt.
Yeah,
I was like,
Val's
yeah.
entirely here to flirt, but she doesn't want. She's nervous about it and doesn't want to make it obvious. So she's like, okay, point back to tell I this.
It was like really just snaps her finger, like, right, yeah, the white bitch is here. I gotta follow her. I was like, I swear. She just sort of tightens her grip on her glass a little bit. It's like, I freaking swear I put a sword right through her freaking like processor or whatever the hell she has that is a synthetic. Why the hell is she here though? I mean, if Seraph did his job, they would have probably taken her body or some shit. I think. I mean, it's evidence at that point.
Yeah, like Val's gonna like look at Will and be like, hey, you'll have a chance to put a knife in her hand if you want to. I promise. And well, I know you've got yours, but in case you really run out for some reason, she like pulls her skirt, pulls her dress to the side of it to reveal the knife. I brought one too.
Sweet. She just sort of like takes the like split side of her dress aside and just shows her the pair of laser half swords she got there. She goes, we kind of match.
Val blushes.
And she just chuckles a little bit. Like, but yeah, I think she's in that little private room over there. Probably have the big screens for the mech fight in there. We could probably just slip in, see, kind of make it look like we were trying to get away from the noise so we could hear better.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't mind getting away from the noise, so you and I could lose a little bit of cash in the mech fight.
Yeah, and Willow's gonna look over her shoulder just like casually, just trying to make it look like she's not looking, try and get a glimpse of the seafood enthusiasts. How do they look? Do they look properly fucked up?
I mean, go ahead and make me a perception check.
All right, it's a 13.
It's indeterminate. They seem like they're having a good time, but it's hard to really get a beat on how they're doing.
But they don't seem like they're looking at us.
Oh no, they're very much into their oysters and perhaps each other.
Arias is a big boy. He can handle himself. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, well, it's like, yeah, they seem to. Our tails kind of seem like they're having fun chasing each other around, anyways.
If they wake up the next morning and Caxos's carapace is covered in sucker marks, we know something went down.
So, anyways,
If Caxos wakes up and tastes salt water or Poseidon fluid, whatever it is.
Poseidon solution, whatever.
Tastes a little. Yeah, it tastes a little salty. They say.
Jesus. So I'm grabbing Willow's hand and I'm just like going off excitedly to watch some Lakshay fighters kick ass.
Hell yeah. Willow definitely follows that little galaxy effect on her dress is still patterning around. Kind of like the anime you see where people have the patterns on their outfits where whenever they move the pattern sort of stays the same.
Oh yeah, the pattern doesn't move either, so she just keeps going.
Oh, it looks like a cutout into another texture.
Yeah, like if anybody's seen Gankutsuo, the Count of Monte Cristo, it's kind of like the clothes in that one.
Right. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The pattern is fixed, but like the fabric seems to move through that texture, and that pattern does not move, even though the fabric does. I got it.
So it's like a galaxy on that. Which, if no one's seen it, definitely check it out. It's really good. It's sort of like this, like sci-fi mixed with Victorian times. Really good.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, we head for over here. We can move our tokens, right?
Whoa, I don't know what is going on. Yes.
So I'm like right here because I'm holding her hand, just dragging her into this room.
Yeah, Willow's keeping pace, just smiling. She can tell a little bit that Val's kind of got a little bit of bounce in her step.
Sorry, I'm trying to navigate this. Sirenscape is doing very bizarre things to me right now.
That's not good.
I'm just going to cancel it. Anyway, okay, so you are, so you do cross over into the club, or the lounge area, the sports lounge area. You can see that the lady in white is still sitting there on that couch and is still enjoying the giant chicken races. And you're not really sure why they're still sitting here, but they seem to be like getting ready to head out soon. You can see they've got like a fair few number of drinks on the table, empty ones. And it seems like maybe she's getting a little bit worn down.
Right. So what places does it look like where the mechs are airing, or does it look like you can just sit down anywhere and change the channel? No, so like what you're standing next to is essentially like a gigantic holo projector, and it's not something that's usually customer serviceable. Like you'd have to ask the staff to change it. There's a bit like changing the TV in a bar. Like you don't really do that very much. Right. Willow's gonna find like who would I have to ask staff? Outside bar or in here? Well, you could ask one of the people outside to do it. There doesn't seem to be any actual staff on hand in here. It seems to be mostly automated for the service in here. Right. Willow's going to look around. What looks like it's available seating that would be close to them, but not too conspicuous. I mean, there's really only one other like major couch on their side of the room. Other than that, like there's a lot of like standing room for people to like watch the show or the various events. There's another couple of big couches, one of which is not occupied across the way from them. This one here, I know they don't have anyone in here on this one, but there is actually a young throuple that are necking right now, and it'd be best not to interrupt them. Yeah, that's the unoccupied one. Right. The one next to them, though, like this one right here, is that one? That one's unoccupied as well. That one is unoccupied as well. It might be a little conspicuous for your needs, but you could use it. What's this one right over here, though? This place right here. That is apparently a large planter pot, or some kind of a weird decorative feathery-looking fern. Is there's no like freestanding like tables or anything on the walls or nearby that we could just stand up at with like sour drinks on?
There are a couple of these little spiral tables here in the center of the room, and also there's one there and there. They appear to be made of like a sort of like a staggered step almost of like flat surfaces in a sort of a spiral pattern. Overall, it's like a curling nautilus shell, but it's not a smooth single transitional ramp. It's like flat panels that have like staggered heights built into them.
Okay. Willow just sort of surveys the area and just kind of like, she's thinking we sit across them or too suspicious.
Are you acting nonchalant about this, or
Yeah,
are you just like being like obviously sus as fuck right now?
Nah, Willow's just like nonchalantly trying to find a good spot for her and Val to take up at. Kind of looks like she's trying to find a good spot where it's sort of in a corner, kind of quiet, like someone who's trying to be a little mischievous on a date sort of thing.
All right, make me a performance check.
I can't believe I'm throwing my 2 cents into this, but you don't necessarily have to find a place to sit.
Right, but still.
Val is genuinely looking for a place to sit for the same purposes that Willow's pretending.
No, damn it.
So
You mean you're looking for a CPUs the same way that Sparkle is?
yes, except
that's
it's
some
just
bullshit. That is some bullshit. That is a natural one.
Okay,
since
as you're looking, hold
I
on,
can't help her, can I?
not for this, no,
I just rolled, so
because you were genuinely looking, you weren't performing. But I will say this: as you are like looking around, you're being kind of furtive and acting really suspicious. The lady in white looks over at you and does notice, but she also sees you with your lovely date in tow, who is genuinely dragging you by the hand to the couch. So your unease and your furtive expression, it gets covered by her obvious enthusiasm, and you can see she like puts up a hand like up to her face as though she were like kind of tittering. And I don't know, maybe she thinks y'all are cute together. But it doesn't appear that your obvious like looking around has aroused her suspicions. It's just gotten her attention, and look at the cute little couple.
we just amused her. Willow kind of just sort of just like immensely.
I drag you over here without thinking, so up next to her.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
The automaton nearest to you, or rather, I should say the Vect guard here, nearest to you, does kind of subtly shift a little bit and like adjusts his stance to where he's like 1/4 facing more towards you than he was. But otherwise, they don't seem to really take much notice of you.
I sit her down and I just look over at Will. I'm like, okay, so should we pretend that I'm saying something really, really secret past me? Just, out there?
Yeah, that could work. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, she just sort of flushed a little bit.
Now Valerie makes a performance check.
Alright, cool. Because,
Do we both roll, or do we just?
well,
Yeah,
see,
go
the
ahead.
thing is,
You can make a secondary roll, but I believe Valerie was the one beginning the performance here with trying to act flirty. and
Can I
whispering in
just
your shit.
can I just assist with Willow's in a second?
Yeah, that's fine.
And Willow kind
Because-
of blushes and like not gonna lie, she sort of blushes and rubs the back of her neck a little bit. I do think you got a lot of interesting stuff to say about.
okay, I can't reach that. I can't. What is my performance? It's probably not great.
Probably just your charisma.
It is just my charisma. Hi, caramba. So wait, is she helping? Do I get advantage? Or am I
Yeah,
just rolling
you
straight?
do get advantage with this roll because she is helping, and honestly, she's hot ass. Okay, 13. You don't arouse.
That's my first.
Okay.
Next one's a 20.
Okay, yeah, okay, much better. You do put on a very convincing, almost genuine, might say, performance. With apparently like whispering sweet nothings in Willow's ear and attempting to make out with the side of her neck.
And I pull Willow into my lap.
That Willow just kind of like this is sharp little like yelp and just chuckles at that.
As you start like winding your way around Willow and like making out, you do bring your eye camera to bear and try and get a good solid look at your neighbor there. Go ahead and make me an investigation check. I'm not going to give you disadvantage because while they're not paying attention to what you're doing, you're also a little bit hampered in your field of vision by this lovely vision of purple-hairedness before you.
That's very straight. I got a 10 because I'm not really paying attention.
Okay, it's something funny about this. She doesn't altogether seem like she's acting the same as she was the last time you saw her. This individual definitely is much more jovial, for one thing, not screamy, not twitchy. You notice, like, during your time, like, observing her, she definitely does not display that same kind of, like, tick that you saw from the other one that you encountered and apparently defeated.
Yeah, that sort of invect and kind of jerkiness.
Yeah, exactly. Her motor functions are much too fluid compared to the one that you met before.
Wait a second. She's a vector.
Kind of.
No, she could just be similar model, or just like same model, same case. Sort of like seeing a matching phone case.
Yeah. Or out of character, where like the scene from Ghost in the Shell where Motoko sees someone with a similar full body prosthetic.
Or just like somebody else using the same sleeve in Ultra Carbon. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
outside of the realm of possibility. You can make me an insight check about that.
I can, or Willow can.
Well, either one of you can. It was your idea to put forth, so, you know, having suggested it to Willow, like, she could make a quick, impulse decision on how likely that is for her own well-being, but, like, you're welcome to make your own as well.
So 21.
I
Yeah,
got 12.
Yeah, so, okay, well, it occurred to you enough to actually ask the question, Willow, you think this isn't just in the realm of possibility, but downright plausible? Bordering on likely? Like, it would be impossible without a lot more invasive lines of interrogation and or questioning to kind of suss out the end of that. But as it stands right now, suddenly you find yourself having reasonable doubt.
I'm gonna say that my 12, yet still saying that, was mostly just Val being like, I almost want to ask if this is an actual date and just forget the subtext. But she is not brave enough yet.
Willow sort of like thinks about that for a second, then she's wondering. She tries to think back to when they first walked through it. That glimpse that she got the amulet. Would it be possible for her to just try and think on that again? Just try and see if she could try and place that religion again.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make your religion check on trying to recall the details about that.
Right. 12.
That's okay. It's still pretty fresh in your mind. You remember kind of the back history that you were given when you spoke with the Mother of Now. You remember that she mentioned the name of an ancient cultist or cult leader who, in another timeline, had attempted to basically collapse time in on itself by breaking time crystals in the Temple of the Moment, thinking that would cause basically the funnel of time to collapse. It didn't work. In that timeline, Nihilus basically eradicated themselves and blew up the entire planet. But there's no indication of what may or may not have happened to his alternate version in this universe, in your timeline. So, Omnihilus, while a new name to you, is not a new name to the universe at large.
So that symbol that she happened to pass through here, that it doesn't ring any more bells?
So this individual is wearing a chain with a pendant of the Church of the Void. Their attire is very clerical, and I don't mean like a clerk, I mean like a cleric. So it's almost like really fancy vestments, like going out vestments, right?
I want to ask a thing that I didn't think to ask at all so far.
Mm-hmm.
We know she's dressed the same. Does she look exactly the same? My bounty hunter feature means I have perfect recall on faces, and we justified that like I'm recording them.
Yeah, so...
Is this exactly the same person in the face?
It's damn close. You notice that a couple of like very fine minute details are off. The set of her eyebrows, like the way her mouth moves. She's not twitchy. She's not screamy and frowny. Like her facial features, while obscured by what looks like almost like a mask or fabric covering of some kind, like you can't see like the actual you can't see the opening of her mouth, but you can see the outline of it and the impression of it through the fabric. Right, it's very sheer, but you can see that the way that her face moves and shifts, it looks like a dead ringer for the lady you saw before. But just gesturally and expression-wise and movement-wise, there's a couple of very small but significant differences.
I mean, Blue, I gotta tell you, I'm on one of two thought processes right now. We could sit here the whole night and maybe even trail someone when they leave, I don't know. Or we can just walk up and ask her if we stabbed her.
Well, she just chuckles that one a little loudly, just that, and just smiles. She's like, looking at it now, we might have the wrong person. It's probably someone. Like, I don't remember the bitch having like anything that tied her to the church at the look about it. It's like she just sort of just like leans, she just like kind of slightly leans her vision over to look at the girl again, just for the sake of just looking. And she goes, this lady's probably here looking after Father Black or something like that.
You hold on, Willow. You were the one that got closest to her, right? You got up to melee range.
I actually got in her face and stabbed her through the heart. I remember.
Okay, I want you to make an intelligence check at advantage.
Because I remember I literally stabbed her in the neck and in the chest, and when she said, "Oh, Nihilus will never die," she said, "I don't know and I don't care."
For what it's worth, I was also in her face like Mike Tyson boxing this bitch.
Okay, so then you go ahead and make me also that same intelligence check at advantage. Damn, okay, great.
18.
So both of you recall, like as soon as you mentioned that, about her not having that necklace that our current subject is wearing, both of you recall seeing a brand on the side of her temple in the shape of the temple with like the void logo.
Okay, I haven't rolled mine yet. Do I get my proficiency bonus to it, or because it's an intelligence check?
This is just a straight roll at advantage.
Okay.
Sorry, I saw two in a row and I missed.
Let's roll 20.
Yeah, that's all you need. So yeah, you both recall seeing that in the envy that you fought before had a brand of the Void Church tattoo, or not a tattoo, just a brand on the side of her head.
And does this one...
Like, it didn't occur to you, like, it didn't clock what it was when you saw it, but now seeing it again and now starting to put the pieces together like that, you remember seeing that graphic on the individual's side of her head, and that kind of just, like, snaps into focus now that you mentioned that.
Does this one have that?
No, well, I mean, you can't see that part of her face because she's wearing, like, kind of like a hood almost. It's like a half hood. It's covering up part of this, like the front. It's like framing her face almost like a habit. If that makes sense, right? There's like a little bit of a nun almost quality to this vestment. Like it's clearly clerical robes, but there's definitely like traces of nun in the design here, right? So part of her face is obscured. She's got this kind of a covering over her actual face that's got fabric. It's kind of obscuring her mouth, but also there's like a wimple or a habit that's going over the rest of the head there. So it's kind of like covering that as well, right? So you can't see that part of her face the way she's facing right now without like getting up and changing your position and like trying to be sneaky about it. But you already did see that she's got that silver chain around her neck that's got the logo on it.
Yeah, just remembering that was like close to a massive galaxy-sized coincidence that she's also.
As you two are macking and debating about whether or not this is the same individual, you notice that there's a sudden commotion coming from the races area, the table. You can see that there is, on the screen, the giant chicken races, there is a surprise upset. There's been a massive, like, 5-chicken collision on the courseway, and one of the long shots is now, like, just tearing ass down the track and pulling away. and you can hear a lot of people yelling, a lot of things. Make me one last perception check, both of you.
Yeah, 13.
Okay.
Let me. 16.
Okay.
Let me see if I. I'm not gonna see if I have anything for advantage for that. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Okay, so Willow, you're thoroughly distracted by the chicken pile up on the screen, but Valerie, you do happen to catch it just out of the corner of your eye, as the drama is unfolding on the races. You notice off to the side that our surveillance subject suddenly stiffens and clenches her fist really tight, and you can see she appears to be holding some kind of a betting slip in her hand. And she was enjoying herself pretty well before, but now her face is just frozen like a rictus, and she's staring very intently at the races right now. And as that lone tearaway chicken crosses the finish line first, you hear a kind of almost digital yell, and it's just fucking boy, take you! And she punches through the glass tabletop in front of her, leaving the betting ticket in place. Punches through the table and drops the ticket, and then stands up and sweeps out the door. Just strides, long, big, powerful strokes, and the two guards on either side of her just suddenly come to life and double time it after her, just
I would like to
she is
use
gone.
my bounty hunter feature while she's still in the room.
Okay.
Mark her.
You catch her just as she is heading out.
Alright, I mark her so I'll have advantage of tracking her down in a minute. And I look at the willow in my lap and I'm just do you want to follow that? Or should we follow that?
I think if we follow that, there's probably a fight we don't want to go up against. It's two big invects. There's two big vects. There's a potentially angry magic user, and I don't have my armor.
Yeah, I'm not in my armor either, and I don't have any guns, so
Be kind of outgunned at this point, literally and figuratively. And Willow just sort of dips her head in the direction of the table where the betting slip is. We get a name.
yeah, let me grab that real quick, and I get up, slipping Willow off me to the side. I go pick that up. I come back. I sit down. I pull Willow back into my lap.
Oh.
Willow
And I
was
hand it
just,
to you.
when Willow got set down, she felt a little pang of disappointment, but when she gets pulled back in, she's oh, here we go again.
And I hand her the ticket.
And we fade to black.
Alright.
So I'm going to let the rest of y'all shenanigans happen off camera. We're going to call it here for the night.
Aw.
It's
Can
okay,
we just
I'll-
do something before we fade to black?
Yeah, go ahead. One last thing.
Willow just takes the ticket and just looks it over and sort of folds it and just puts it into the little place where she has her sabers tucked away in the dress. And she goes, alright, well, I guess she'll blush a little bit. Maybe we can call this a successful first date after about 5 more drinks.
Nice.
Val blushes incredibly hard.
Oh, okay.
Is this a date? Is she gay? Oh no, does she? Oh, I like her. I like her a lot. This is just internal monologue.
Is she flirting or just nice?
I can't tell.
The classic bisexual dilemma. Okay, here we will end the episode. Thanks to everybody for your time. I know this is a really disjointed sort of session with everybody sort of split off into different things.
And thank you.
Everyone's being fabulous about this, and I'm loving where this is all going.
I want to thank all of my party members for sitting through me role-playing the most clueless lesbian.
Okay.
You
So-
disaster.
Next session, just so you're aware, we will be running part of the Escape from Exoto Park module that was put up by Snickle Sucks for Halloween.
Nice.
So there will be dinosaur hunting to be had. We will have a guest star next week.
Yes.
Vex will
Oh,
be joining us. Vex will be joining us in the location that you're traveling to. So everyone, get ready for some dinosaurs.
I've
Just shake a
literally
dinosaur.
always been ready for dinosaurs.
You were never not ready for dinosaurs, my dear. All right. So if you want to do plugs, now's the time. Otherwise, we can call it for the night.
I will say.
Sorry, you go, Willow.
Go ahead, you first.
No, you go. I think I got like 2.
I was gonna say that I forgot to interject earlier, but when we walked in the club, we were gonna do that slow walk thing, and we had kind of what was the songs? One of us was playing "The Baddest" by KDA in our heads, and the other was playing.
Girls in Bikinis by Poppy.
Yes.
Outstanding. Okay, send
But
me
for-
links to
but for-
those, and I'll put them in the mix.
Yes.
But for plugs, check out Wednesdays, Mists of Kren's Valley, where you can catch Sage and Eus playing what is essentially Secrets of Nim meets Dracula.
Nice. That was one of the plugs I was gonna be like, hey, I knew Scotty did a game on Wednesdays. I didn't know what it was, but thank you for having that.
Yeah, also if you check YouTube, Scotty's also got a Halloween special up now, which is it's supposed to be really fun.
Nice. I guess in addition, I not to be in competition with Scotty, but if you don't watch one of our games, you should watch definitely another. We also stream on Wednesdays. Myself and a few friends of mine playing this sort of desert-ish, like high fantasy post-apocalypse game. At Freya the Freak on Twitch. The other one is at Scotty_Hood, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that on Twitch.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
correct. Twitch.
Yes.
Twitch TV / Scotty
Yeah,
_ H00D.
Yes, that's Scotty. And Freya the Freak is all one word, no caps. So
Is that
if you
Freya
don't
with a
ca-
Y or Freya with a J?
Freya with a Y. Thank you for getting that clarified. So yeah, if you're not watching one of us, check out the other. Both games are incredible. I've played with both DMs, and I gotta say they're just like our current DM is.
Heck yeah.
Aw. Well, okay. Anyone else? Uis, you want to plug?
Okay, yeah, but first one random thought before I forget, and it will be weird, but I wanna, for the next session or in between sessions, I wanna propose Boom Squid to go skinny dipping.
Yes.
Because
Where?
because
Where?
Cactus is already naked. There is,
Oh,
there was
wow.
a pool, right, in the gym.
There's actually a pool here in the nightclub. In fact.
So you two have to do a Bruce Wayne and the models thing from the first Christian Bale Batman thing, where you just
Instead,
pool
I
in the
will
hotel.
propose that because I know how hard it is to be not on your moving media and like 3D mentality on a 2D gaseous
Yes.
people.
That-
So
Like,
How would this work? I mean, you're always nude, and they're nude in the suit.
yeah, I
That's
mean,
the point. Is
I mean,
Karos is going to have to get out of the suit? I think is the
Right.
point.
I would have to get out the suit. Yeah.
Oh,
That's the whole
I
point.
was thinking.
It's
January,
it's
I'm
not as loud as it looks. Maybe it will be loud if I draw it.
I need
I'm
to
not
see that.
sure.
Do it. We can
Just,
art this.
What you're what
Please.
squid based cephalopod, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not sure there'd be any visible.
Trust in the
sure.
power of Uis.
Yeah, if anybody in the universe could make cephalopods sexy, it's Uis. So.
Oh, I mean, it's not
this-
hard to make cephalopods.
This episode
Cephalopods
is,
are base
Wow,
sex.
you just kind of outed yourself a little bit there, huh?
No,
This-
I mean,
this
I'm just
entire-
being. Japan exists.
this entire
Just
episode.
Japan.
This entire episode has just been playground for Uis's art right now.
It
Yeah,
really,
honestly.
We have sexy ladies in dresses. We have hot bug on octopus action. It's everything.
we have skinny dipping squid. There's a never-ending torrent of garden of lustful delight here.
Also, January, I really love our characters and the everything that we have.
The
but I
dynamic
really
is
think,
beautiful.
and it is, but I really think we may have focused on the wrong date tonight.
We may have, yes. The
Just maybe.
the winner is clearly the side date.
The winner is everybody.
Yes.
I did look into it. So squids actually reproduce kind of weirdly.
Oh no, the Hectocutulus.
Yeah.
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 Rip a tentacle off, it's full of sperm. Here, you have this.
It's not like bug sex.
Oh no,
it's
we
super...
lost.
Oh, we lost.
Sage.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So I think
Okay.
Sage has gone off to bed. Bless him.
Oh.
I think that's our cue to leave too. So we're
Yeah.
gonna sign
Yeah.
off.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Bye,
night.
everybody.
Good night, y'all. Have fun.
Dark Matter is copyright Mage Hand Press. Check them out at mfov.magehandpress.com. Sound Effects by Sirenscape Online, the premier solution for your virtual tabletop RPG sound effect needs. $22 every other month gets you access to Sirenscape's library of hundreds of curated music and sound effect packages. From swords to spells to starships, if you need sound, you need Sirenscape Online. Check them out at sirenscape.com. Zap the Laser Corgi and Stickle Socks, if they appear today, appear courtesy of the Retroverse. Check them out at lasersandliches.com. Radical.